5 nuclear tests so powerful, they didn't just destroy everything in sight, they permanently changed the planet itself. From shockwaves that circled the globe 3 times to seismic shifts that physically moved the Earth's crust. These weren't just tests. They were moments humanity pushed the limits of existence. Prepare for the countdown of history's most powerful blasts. 1945, the New Mexico desert, 5:29 a.m. For the first time in human history, a nuclear bomb was about to be detonated. Scientists didn't know what would happen. Some feared the explosion would ignite the entire atmosphere, ending all life on Earth. Despite the terrifying risks, they detonated it anyway. The blast was equivalent to 21,000 tons of TNT, a blinding white flash visible 160 miles away. The shockwave knocked observers off their feet 10 miles from the explosion. The desert sand beneath the bomb melted and fused into a new substance, green radioactive glass. Scientists named it Trinity. It still exists today. Robert Oppenheimer, the man who built the bomb, watched the explosion and whispered just 7 words. "Now I am become death, destroyer of worlds." Trinity didn't just test a weapon, it opened a door that could never be closed. November 1st, 1952. A small coral island in the Pacific Ocean called Elugalab. By the end of the day, it would no longer exist. Ivy Mike was the first hydrogen bomb ever detonated. Unlike the atomic bombs dropped on Japan, this was a thermonuclear weapon. A different category of destruction entirely. The explosion released 10.4 megatons of energy, 700 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The fireball was 3 miles wide. The mushroom cloud rose 25 miles into the stratosphere, punching through the top of the atmosphere itself. Elugalab Island, 1 mile wide, covered in palm trees, was completely vaporized. In its place, a crater 6,240 feet wide and 164 feet deep sat on the ocean floor. An entire island, gone in seconds. The world had just entered a terrifying new era, and the Soviet Union was watching. March 1st, 1954, Bikini Atoll, Pacific Ocean. The United States was about to make the biggest miscalculation in nuclear history. Scientists predicted Castle Bravo would produce a 6-megaton explosion. A large but controllable test. They were catastrophically wrong. The actual yield, 15 megatons, 2.5 times larger than predicted, the most powerful nuclear device the United States ever detonated. The explosion carved a crater 6,500 feet wide into the ocean floor. The mushroom cloud expanded to 62 miles wide in under 10 minutes. But the real catastrophe came after. Radioactive fallout drifted across 7,000 square miles of ocean, contaminating inhabited islands, exposing 665 Marshall Island residents to dangerous radiation and showering a Japanese fishing vessel with radioactive ash. The crew called it Death Ash. Castle Bravo didn't just break expectations, it broke international trust and directly triggered the global nuclear test ban movement. A legacy of miscalculation that changed the world forever. 1961, a remote Arctic archipelago between Norway and the North Pole. The Soviet Union had found the perfect place to hide its most dangerous secret. Novaya Zemlya was the USSR's primary nuclear test site throughout the Cold War, but 1961 was different. In a single year, the Soviets detonated over 30 nuclear devices at this location alone. As part of a broader program that year, nearly 300 nuclear tests were conducted globally. The cumulative radiation released permanently altered atmospheric radiation levels across the Northern Hemisphere. Reindeer herds across Scandinavia absorbed dangerous levels of radioactive cesium through the lichen they ate. The contamination entered the food chain, reaching humans across multiple countries without a single bomb being dropped in anger. The people of Novaya Zemlya, the Nenets, an indigenous population who had lived there for centuries, were forcibly evacuated. They never returned. A landscape, a culture, and an ecosystem sacrificed for the arms race. October 30th, 1961, a Soviet bomber climbs to 34,000 feet above the Arctic Ocean. Beneath it hangs a weapon so large it barely fits inside the aircraft. A bomb so powerful, Soviet scientists gave the pilot a 50% chance of surviving the blast. He dropped it anyway. Tsar Bomba, 50 megatons, the most powerful explosion in human history, and it will likely remain so forever. The fireball was 5 miles wide. The mushroom cloud rose 40 miles into the sky, 7 times the height of Mount Everest. The thermal pulse was so intense that it could have caused third-degree burns to anyone within 40 miles. The shockwave circled the entire Earth 3 times. Windows shattered in Norway and Finland, 900 kilometers away. Seismic stations across the world registered the explosion as a magnitude 5 earthquake. And yet, this was a reduced yield test. The original design was 100 megatons. The Soviets scaled it back because they were afraid of what the full version might do. Tsar Bomba was never a weapon. It was a message, and the entire world received it. 5 tests. 5 moments that rewrote the rules of human existence. The nuclear age didn't just change warfare. It changed everything. If you made it this far, you already know this channel is different. Every week we cover the machines, the moments, and the engineering that shaped our world. Hit subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming next.